Another place that you can find these attorneys who specialize in an area that you're looking to target is actually by, so some states, some bar associations in certain states offer these like sort of legal specializations. It's actually a certificate or, some sort of a stamp of approval from a bar association saying this lawyer is a specialist in this particular area. And Texas is actually one of the states that does this. So you can see Texas has several of them: administrative, civil, appellate, business bankruptcy, construction, consumer bankruptcy, things like that. And so, child welfare, for example, you can click on details and it gives you some information about what this means, what types of cases these are. And then you can click find a board certified child welfare attorney. And this list comes up that's pretty long of these different attorneys in different firms. And when you click on them, it actually, their mailing address appears on this map up above. And, they're in the criminal defense attorney's office. So I'm sure you could find, this is their phone number. You could likely find their contact info by going to that county criminal DA's office's website. And so that, this is a great, there's another one, and this says this is a send email button, which would likely pop up something, but you could go to, you could go to this, you could Google, oh, this is a judge, but you could Google the judge and likely find their contact info that way. The California is another state that does this. So they don't have quite as many specializations as Texas does. But as you can see, some of the ones we talked about, right? Estate planning, trust and estates, family law, workers' compensation, things like that.
Admiralty, Kelly, Admiralty.
Admiralty, yes, of course. Our favorite. And so yeah, you can click on some of these, creditors' rights, and it'll take you to this tells you how to become that type of lawyer. So you can sometimes get some of the lingo from here, some of these different areas. But if you want to find a certified attorney, you click here and you can narrow it down however you want by state. You can narrow it down in different ways. And some of these, again, have an email address, some don't, but you can go to their websites and kind of go from there. And I would say, this is sort of on the rise. More states are doing this. So you can kind of, keep an eye out if your state does it. Think about whether or not you just, you could do a Google search, state Massachusetts specialist attorneys, things like that. And you can find people that way. So bar associations also do this sort of informally, that they don't necessarily come with that stamp of approval, that certification. But almost all bar associations in different states have different specialty groups, different little focus groups for various different legal specialties. So one of the ones I wanted to show you was the construction law section of the Arizona bar. When I participated in a group in Massachusetts that was the litigation section of the Mass Bar Association. So there's all of these little areas where lawyers kind of get into they go and have either little meet and greets or little lunch and learns, things like that. And if you can find that group, if you can find the contact info for those different types of lawyers, then that can be gold to add to the list.
Or you can go to the meeting, or you can speak at the meeting, right?
Yeah,
or you
exactly.
can have it as in their publication. So it's not just about sending people an email, sending them a letter. There's a lot of different ways. Once you find out where the feeding spot is for the fish, to get the fish out of the water and into the boat. Exactly.
I wanted to show another one.
Well, definitely the AAJ, right?
Yeah. So the AAJ has a million of these, literally, a million of these different groups for just about everything you could ever think of. Bicycles, birth traumas, elevator and escalator. We've had a couple of those experts in our courses recently. Herbicides and pesticides. We had a patent expert in our last course who was an expert in the molecular composition of a herb and a pesticide. Am I right on that?
Everything you always wanted to know about.
Yeah, simple stuff, really, not anything complicated at all. So again, you can look through these, and then if one is relevant to you, ski areas, for example, you can click through, and then you can either sign up for the newsletter, or sometimes these will have contact info for the person who administers the group, and you could offer to write something for this group, or you could offer to host some event for this group, things like that, exhibit at one of these conferences, things like that. So you've just got to kind of spend some time perusing the internet and perusing all of these various different little legal communities to help find what you want to target for different pieces of marketing.